An anxious Agur Amisep puzzles over a tiny plastic Titanic. He's got the time, ever since his job sank without a trace when the global economic crisis struck the local paper mill. Estonia and the other Baltic states are navigating treacherous straits. The undercurrents have already claimed Agur's son's job as well, and his daughter has been given notice.
Age. That is one of the obstacles in finding a new job. There are so few opportunities for work now. I just find job offers for highly qualified people. But there's less and less going for people like me who would like just to do some simple kind of work with their hands.
A train links Agur's town of Kila with the capital Tallinn. Some locals hope to find a job there. Agur saw an offer for a prison guard, but the minimum wage wouldn't cover his bills. He walks us round his former factory. The Dutch management is also going to close operations in Denmark. The machines will be shipped to the Netherlands.
I worked here for 11 years of my life. In the end, there weren't enough orders. Our pay was more than cut in half. Finally, the whole department I worked in, the mechanical department, was just closed down.
The other big player in Kila is just a few hundred meters away, a plywood factory, also shut down. The spanking new high-tech laser-guided machines imported from Italy haven't shaved a single sheet of ply since Russia slapped a sharply higher export tax on the raw material. A friend and neighbor of Agur shows us around. He's far more hopeful. Ivar Asperg believes in change. He's going to retrain.
I've just received very good news from the Public Employment Agency. They promised to pay for my training to become a truck driver. That's quite expensive. Since I'm unemployed, I wouldn't be able to afford it. This help in requalification is quite substantial for me to succeed with a new start.
Kila has 3,500 inhabitants. Closing down the biggest factories and sacking a few hundred people affects everyone, including the newspaper seller.
This crisis is also felt in my family. 3 of my children have lost their jobs. My youngest daughter and I are the only ones still working, both of us for the minimum wage. It's very hard paying the bank back for money we've borrowed.
Fewer people earning and people earning less has put a huge hole in the town's tax revenue. But the deputy mayor is upbeat and keen to show us new plans for an industrial park. Independent of that project, to help fight recession this year, 12 million euros in EU funds is set to pour in.
We just get the positive news that we get the money for infrastructure, for water pipes and canalization.
The Baltic countries expect generous help from the EU. This is estimated to represent up to 4% of GDP per year until 2013. But not even that will save Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania from prolonged economic stress. Tallinn hopes it will soon be possible to adopt the euro, providing the country financial stability and credibility, thereby bringing down high interest rates and making investment easier. Euro adoption is the top priority, but sagging budgets are a headache for governments. Analysts at the Estonian branch of Swedbank urge the politicians to cut back spending substantially, to move closer to single currency convergence, important for all the Baltic states.
Estonia has reserves collected from previous years, from surplus budget, but Latvia don't have it, so they need additional money.
In November, bank customers in Latvia panicked, forcing the Latvian government to take control of Parex Bank. In December, the whole country needed rescuing. through a €7.5 billion aid package from the International Monetary Fund, the European Commission, the World Bank and other European governments. Estonia helped its neighbour out with €100 million. Economic growth in the Baltics is mostly affected by very weak domestic demand. This year it's predicted that Estonians could earn 20% less than last year. 2008 unemployment in all 3 Baltic states was low enough that it was hard to find manpower. Now the crisis has a quarter of companies in Estonia looking to cut jobs. We asked at the Bank of Estonia, guardian of monetary stability, whether plans to devalue the Estonian crown currency can be ruled out.
Yeah, sure. I could exclude it because the whole game, if you agree, follows the aspect that we say that this is the rule and you have to adjust it.
These Baltic states enjoyed boom years of double-digit growth. Then recession loomed for Latvia and Estonia. There are few signs that recovery in 2010 will come as fast.
The negative aspect is clearly slower growth in the world, meaning that our exporters face much more difficult environment to sell their products. On the positive side, we see lower prices.
Consumer price rises peaked in recent years, ruling out euro membership. But falling inflation this year opens up new euro prospects. Falling prices, such as for energy, are the main reason for declining inflation. Lower inflation brings the euro closer.
Early next year we could actually start fulfilling the criterion, meaning that joining into 2011 the inflation criterion could be quite possible. Maybe euro could be here.
But watch out for money mania, warns Estonian rapper Priit Kolsa. His latest song about the crisis he calls Greed for Money. It's driving people crazy, from cradle to the grave, demanding a red carpet and Dom Perignon.